tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hi guys, welcome back to the Foster's After Show on AFTERBUZZ TV. Tonight, we're going to be breaking down the finale episode called The End of the Beginning. As always, we want to hear from you. You can tweet at us using the hashtag ABTVF. Steffi G is on the mic. That stands for AFTERBUZZ TV Fosters. You can also subscribe to us on YouTube and iTunes and leave us a comment there. Unfortunately, Hannah is not going to be with us tonight, but the crew is here, and it's okay. Fear not. I have two of the most magical unicorns in all of the world. Jillian Leff and Stephanie Giorgi, welcome.
Did you like my unicorn?
I did. It's beautiful. Where do y'all tweet from?
Hey, I tweet from at Stephanie Giorgi.
I tweet from at Jillian Leff. And if you guys listen really closely, the theme song might sound a little bit different because it's a live performance from the actual singer-songwriter.
In our studio.
No.
Oh, darn it.
No, but she did post a really adorable YouTube video with her and her son singing the song, and the Foster's account retweeted it, so you can definitely check it out there for sure. But it's about a family. The show's about a family. The song is written by a mom with an adorable son. I was like crying at work today after finding this video.
It's been an emotional day for everybody, and for this episode. Holy junk! I'm Jeffrey Masters.
Oh yeah, Jeff, where do you tweet from?
Okay, now start it. Oh, Jeff Masters 1. Is there a death in the family? We have to start there, right?
Yes.
We see a car crash and we see the words fatality.
So, I live tweeted the episode last night. For you fans that followed along, thank you so much again. I really enjoyed it. Hopefully, all of us can sort of do that more a little bit week to week. I don't know what happened. I feel like maybe the fans think that Jake might...
The fans have hope.
They do. And I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Jake T. Austin, obviously, if you guys follow him on Twitter, he tweeted that he was making an official exit from the show. I don't know why he would say that if he was still on the show, but I'm also confused as to why they didn't call out Jesus's name as the fatality. What were they holding on to? Do you guys have any theories behind that?
I don't think that they would have said his name. I think that that's all that they would have had to report on the radio, is just that there was one fatality, so you had to rush because it was that much of an accident. But yeah, I guess he left too. I just don't know why he posted that also. I mean, first of all, way to ruin it for all of us. And second of all, for it to end with the cliffhanger, not us knowing exactly who died, now just makes matters worse because we know what we don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that season finales are famous for cliffhangers, so maybe it was intentional. I also wonder that this is happening, like a couple months ago they shot this. Maybe at that point contract negotiations were still not finished, and so they're like, we have to give it a maybe so that we can go either direction. I also think that maybe he was not supposed to tweet that, or maybe it was just like a fake out.
Right?
Yeah, a lot of the fans are calling it a bait and switch. I'm confused, honestly, because I know sort of like Steph didn't want to admit it, but I was sort of admitting all season that Jesus' storyline really wasn't heavily featured. We kind of felt like he was playing second fiddle to the rest of the cast. I mean, considering, from 2A to 2B, he really wasn't there, and I think we all thought when the recruiter came that they were just going to write him off that way, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of, if in fact he is gone from the show, I mean, I'm sad to see what happens to the rest of the characters and sort of the domino effect with them.
Yes, exactly.
But that overall cliffhanger of who dies, I felt like I was let down.
I was let down also.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Why did that let you guys down?
Well, because if he's not on the show anymore, I feel like it would have been better if it was up in the air. Imagine, having to wait 2.5 months to find out who died.
Right.
Oh, because now we know because he tweeted that.
Well, he tweeted it. I mean, some of the fans are still holding on, which, God bless you guys.
I'm having flashbacks to Justin Bieber 2003 when he tweeted out, or 13, where he tweeted out, "I'm retiring from music," and then the next day his documentary movie came out, and people were like, "We have to see this movie."
It's hard because I work on an entertainment website, and a lot of people picked up that news today.
Yeah.
I mean, really, we go to social media. It's straight from the celebrities' mouths.
Exactly.
No reps are involved. They're releasing their own stuff. So, I wish I could just email Bradley. Hey, Bradley.
Hey, so what's going on?
Actually, I know you guys are watching the show. If you want to tweet at us right now, it'd be great.
I just don't know that we can believe anything until the season starts.
Yeah.
Things could change. It could have been a joke. He could come back, and it could have been serious. I don't know.
Or they maybe could have filmed him leaving with a recruiter. I have no idea.
Something like that. Regardless, though, if he does die, this is going to be so sad because I'm so nervous for Mariana.
Yeah, me too.
I'm so nervous for her, and I want to know how Lena and Steph are going to act having lost someone, and then what that's going to do to Anna, and it's just going to mess things up, and it just makes me sad. I just wish that they didn't. If he is off and they killed him off, man, too bad. He could have just gone to school, But she's right, though, 100%. His character did not have a very strong storyline this season.
I feel like it could have been a Lexi situation where he Skypes in a few times.
Yeah.
And,
from boarding school.
Yeah, and I don't know, it kills me because I love who Mariana has sort of become in this second half of the second season, and I just feel like she already has so many issues. Mm-hmm. And it's just going to bring everything to a head for her. And I hate to see someone, especially that age, and losing a twin.
That's right, because they have that connection, right?
Well, that's why I'm curious to see if they do deal with this losing a child, because then your entire life and the entire show becomes about that, rightfully so. That's the biggest thing that would happen in parents, a child, anybody's life, and yet you can't actually make the whole show about that. Right. I don't think it's not like a chasing life thing.
Yes, exactly.
It's a show about these characters and these families, and if they were to bring that into it, I think it would just change everything. And in order to do it justice, it would change it for too long of a time for the viewers almost.
No, understood, because that would be the focus. It'd be everyone's problem, and like you said, only because naturally in real life it would be that way.
Yeah, that's not something you get over.
Exactly, and they wouldn't be able unless they did a fast forward months later.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah,
you're right.
But that's the only case. Otherwise, we'd have to genuinely see the transition between everyone grieving and then getting
and watching that grieving process would be this is going to sound horrible, but would be interesting for a couple episodes. But to make it real, it would need to be a year,
exactly.
2 years,
yes.
And we can't watch that as viewers.
Well, they moved on from. Let's think about the grieving that they've already had on the show. With Steph's dad, they did that for 2 episodes, and then with Frankie, they did that for a few more episodes and sort of peppered her in. I just feel like Jesus as a character is so heavily connected to them, and I have no idea how they're going to deal with this, and it breaks my heart. I don't know if I want to see that.
Me neither. And it just breaks my heart because it's very early for them to lose someone, but just that household, for someone to die, for one of the kids, because that's what this entire thing has been about. And for just one of their children to die is just gonna be ridiculous. And then who knows what the grandparents are gonna do, and now it's even more characters that'll be involved with this, because obviously they saw that, and it just makes me sad because Jesus was he wanted to meet his cousins.
Yeah.
You know
what, I think you had an interesting point saying that his storyline hasn't gone anywhere. And I agree with that, but I have to say I really didn't notice, because there's just so many other characters on the show, and their storylines are so interesting. Seeing Mariana grow, seeing Callie's custody battle, seeing Jude, of course. I didn't feel like there was a hole.
I think that he sort of had his time to shine. They used him as a big device in the beginning. He was the hunky, troubled, it was.
I think it brought a lot of people to watch that show because of him.
Exactly. And, he had the Wizards of Waverly Place audience, and people, wanted to see him grow older and everything, but it just breaks my heart. And you know what? This one moment, and we both got emotional when Brandon stopped playing the piano when they cut in between the crash, and stuff's like, he felt it. I'm like, I bet you. Oh, I felt it.
Absolutely. And that's why I get so sad too, because I love how much we've seen Brandon's character grow. And I've said from the beginning of the show, I'm like, I just want to see them get emotional about each other, because they haven't. It's very, I don't know, just emotionless, if you will. But now that was just so perfect because he did feel it, and I want to say I want to see them cry. Is that horrible to say? That is horrible to say, but I mean, just to actually see them grieve, what's going to happen. But it's just going to be really sad.
Yeah, and also looking at the makeup of a show, character archetypes, JT Austin fulfills the young hot guy to attract those viewers. So if he is out, they need to bring in someone, be it giving Matt more of a storyline, but somebody just to grab onto, because shows have these archetypes for a reason.
Well, actually, I read a really sweet article about Hayden Byerly today, and the headline was, "Is Hayden Byerly the new Josh Hutcherson?" So who knows? Maybe Hayden and Gavin, they'll take over the heartthrob.
They always did call Kita the damsel in distress.
No, it's adorable. I mean, although Jake T. Austin is moving on from the show, I'm really happy with the rest of the characters and sort of the characters that we know are going to be back next season. I'm excited to see how that story advances, but it's just, again, it's a loss that I don't think anybody's really ready to deal with. So I'm excited to see what happens on the pickup of next season and how the fans react,
right,
and how we react.
And it's our first Foster's loss. Something, because we finally have gotten 100% into the show. The show's developed, the characters are developed, and now we have to say goodbye.
Yeah. It's going to be hard. It'll be interesting. Yeah. All right, guys, I think we should move on to another big storyline of the series.
Okay.
Callie's ongoing custody battle. This has been solved. Almost, but we're going to give the assumption. Callie is officially a Adams foster because Robert Quinn no longer is fighting to have her legally. He still wants her, but they had a really touching scene that you'll be my dad.
Yeah.
And then it was ruined by the emancipation.
Yeah, but not really, because it brought light to many situations, like how Robert Quinn doesn't want to be like his dad, which, by the way, sir, he was rude.
I know.
He was so rude. I mean, I guess...
Wise, but very rude.
But very rude. Yeah. I mean, and Sophia has been only supportive of Callie.
Right.
She hasn't really shown a lick of jealousy. Am I right?
Yeah. Yep.
So for him to put those words into both of their mouths, I was like...
No, absolutely.
Excuse me.
And to be perfectly honest, it was very disrespectful, to a human being, because that, like he said, it's a young lady. Why would you speak that way? If you believe that she's not part of your family, then leave that discussion for Family Matters and not in front of her.
And it was interesting to hear too that this is Robert Quinn's ongoing battle for Callie's mom. This is they're breaking up, their original breakup he was mad about, and this is another way to get her back. You know, the closest thing he can.
Yeah, of course, which is crazy, and that's so crazy that story, the way he brought it up, how it wasn't something random. That's how much in love Robert Quinn was with Callie's mother.
Yeah.
So it just kind of validated the fact that relationship was real, that even the father recognized it.
So now that we've seen sort of what happened, and I mean, we don't know she's officially adopted, so there could be more to come in season 3, but I'm really hoping that this finally gets wrapped up. Now we can focus on the Brandon and Callie situation.
Oh, Jillian.
But I'm just... Guys...
Well, no, now it's definitely going to hold off, because I'm trying to figure out why Brandon was late. I wonder if, he had sex with Lou real quick, or...
No.
He really did just miss the bus and stuff?
No, it was just second guessing. I don't want to do this. And the last moment, he said,
yeah. Very well. She did the trick. But I love you.
I mean...
Did she say I love you?
She said I love you to him.
I know.
I said I love you, and she looked at him, and then he was like, oh, wait, I'm not trying to leave real quick. Kiss me.
Lou is trouble.
It was a hot kiss, though.
Okay, wait, sorry. Just to wrap up the Callie storyline, we did not get a resolution on Robert Quinn's TBD mistress.
I know. And when he said to Jill, his wife, I was like, you've been everything to me, and I don't deserve you. And I was like, I guess not.
Yeah.
Apparently you playing her, too, right now. That's so sad.
Maybe it'll be a situation where where Callie gets in the middle of that. You know, she catches Robert and the mistress, and she's like, "You need to do right to Jill."
Right.
Because you know how Callie likes to do that.
Yeah.
Or she freaks out, and you know.
I think we saw the writing under the picture saying mistress, but I don't. There was no confirmation that we have right now that it could have been anything.
And it was weird. It was weird that they even did that because, yes, the photos caused a fight between Steph and Lena, but what else did they do? It just showed distrust in their relationship, but what other, you know, we don't know what other device that was.
Yeah. They've always been very smart, though, about, like, planting seeds of, like, the season next for now.
Exactly.
Which I appreciate.
Yeah. Me too, because then it actually is something once it happens.
Yeah.
You know, like, it plays an effect. Like, has more of a wow factor.
Yeah, and it feels like an ongoing series in people's lives versus, like, a procedural show where there's a crime in the beginning and a solution at the end.
Yes, exactly.
And also,
it makes it more real.
I also feel like the writers expect the audience to be somewhat intelligent. I feel like a lot of shows now, they like beat something into the ground, and here there's so many subtle nuances that you just get it, and then it comes back and you remember. Like the one thing I can think of is in the Christmas episode, the nameplates, and then bringing that back. We didn't even think that was a thing, you know. So how many more sort of Easter eggs have they dropped in there? We have no idea.
Because mind you, they probably have most of the storylines set, just not the dialogue written. You know, I'm sure that they have. They have like, okay, this is what's going to happen for this episode, and then they get the writers together. What are they going to say?
Yeah,
that's crazy. And I'm so happy how the way that they've developed. I really hope that Robert Quinn's character does stay indefinitely then, because that was so emotional for me. Like that really broke my heart. Him having to say goodbye, but accepting it, and I'm just very proud of Callie's character for saying that she loved him.
Yeah,
I do, and she's like, you know what, you and Sophia, you're a part of me, and I can't deny that.
He's been an ongoing positive influence in her life that has not left.
Yes, exactly.
Not temporary.
Right, and he's also showing a fight. It's someone else that's fighting for her. She's like, she knows what love is now.
Yeah, and I'd like to the brief addressal of Sophia's personality disorder.
Yes. Oh my gosh! So that's another thing. I loved that they talked about it and how she said, "There's something wrong with me. This is not something that This is not something I can just forget. You know, this is me." And I just, there are so many young people that are fighting with those disorders and they have no idea what's wrong.
Absolutely.
And it's nice to see on television, especially, that now they have, you know, Bailey Madison's character to relate to. It's like another thing. I was like tweeting so much out last night, like, oh, this is amazing. Like, I wish I had this show when I was younger.
Right? I know.
There's so many things.
I would have been too obsessed with the show if I was younger.
Yeah, it's hard to prove, you know, you break a leg and you heal your ankle, you get on crutches, which brings us to Mariana, but eventually, and then you get on crutches. It's something visible and tangible that you can see healing. Like mental illnesses, you know, they come and go and at different varying effects, and it's chemical. You can't track that with your naked eye.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that was very interesting. And I guess, speaking of the girl on crutches, the girl on fire, wow, that dance was fantastic.
Dude, smart girls rock.
These are all for you.
Okay?
Sorry, they're all. I'm like, you know what? Here, all of them are to Jillian. I was like, I don't know.
I purposely said that Steph had to do the Twitter because I'm a huge Pretty Little Liars fan, and they're revealing who A is tonight, and I do not want to get on Twitter right now.
Yeah.
So.
And brief side note, Hannah is not sick or anything. She's actually doing a live show for Pretty Little Liars tonight that they're filming and scheduling as such that, of course, it overlapped.
Right.
But yeah, anything interesting on there?
The Foster's lover said they can't adopt Callie or the show will be boring. Maybe.
Right?
We'll talk about genre in a little bit. Danielle.
No, we're not talking about genre, guys. It's disgusting.
My gosh.
It's nasty.
In defense, look at your knight in shiny armor right here.
I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing it. We're not doing it.
Everyone says, you know, Jesus cannot leave.
I used to be kind of homophobic, and I feel like it's really taken me out of it. You know, I can accept everyone, and I love everyone.
Oh wait, are we having the homophobic conversation?
Okay, no. No, whatever.
We're making more jokes.
But speaking of the talented children, Mariana, that dance was killer. They programmed that amazingly with the help of Emma.
Oh, cool.
Brandon's piano. I was like, yo, bro, this is good. That's my Jeff Masters impression.
Wait, did you say Jif Masters?
Jif.
Oh, Jif. Okay.
I'm kidding. Jif. Yeah, like, wow.
I loved it, and I love when mean girls get defeated by the nice girls.
Yes, but you know what? Mariana's character, she's like kind of becoming like a badass. I really see her in season 3 being like on the cover of magazines. She's gonna blow up.
She runs the family.
Yeah, absolutely. She's finally level-headed. It's like she turned 15 and then grew up and just finally understood kind of how things are.
Yeah, she's like a little Nancy Drew too, like solving crimes on the side.
Yeah.
It's just hard because I feel like if Jesus goes, it's just like.
I know, and someone else tweeted that I guess Mariana hates funerals, and they're like, yeah, but how about a funeral burying your twin, right?
Burying your twin.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying earlier how it's like such a big deal to deal with on a show, and yet the Fosters has never shied away from like massive issues.
No, never. They break our hearts every week.
I know.
Oh my God, I know. I also really appreciate, we're talking about how the writers are smart, that the dance team led by Caitlin, Carver, one, and then Mariana's, both were really exceptional.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like, I hate these like high school shows where like they do like a musical performance and the crowd goes like wild and they're calling Juilliard, and you're like, I mean, it was cute. So yeah, it wasn't great, but it was cute.
Yeah.
This was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Also, like, really smart. I've never seen anything like that.
No, that one was so dope. And, like, I love dancing. My sister's a dancer. Like, I grew up always watching these dance routines. And exactly what you said, Jeff. For being a show, it wasn't, corny or anything like that. It was legitimately very well done. And just that whole, oh, my God, what is it called?
The digital one
was that was so the way that they implemented everything else in it, like just and then the detaching of the bodies.
Yeah.
It puts the little robot Topia to shame.
Yeah.
Good.
It was so cool.
Stupid mean girls.
Down with the mean girls.
That being said, the other team had their long extension ponytail. I was like, I love hairography.
Oh my God, no. Caitlin Carver's hair was no extension. That is her own hair. She just whipped.
It was like hitting the ceiling. You're like, okay, stop.
Which, by the way, I don't know if she's actually going to be back next season, only because she's been like booking movies and other TV shows left and right.
She's on a new pilot with Don Johnson, is it? I think she's his son.
Oh, I don't know.
Don somebody.
I saw her on a Honda commercial.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, it's good to see these people, that we sort of have like had in the studio and made a connection with each week, sort of like really blossoming, and it's awesome. Like, I love it.
Yeah. This sounded so disingenuous, but yes, I agree. I'm sorry.
I thought you were making a transition.
No, I mean, I was thinking about it.
We were all holding our breath. Go ahead.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about next? This is a brief topic that I want to spend like 3 seconds on. Whenever Mike, aka Danny Nucci's on screen, do you guys not automatically think about the Titanic?
Oh,
every time he's on there, I'm like, Fabrizio, there you are. He survived.
Actually, I came up with something last night. I mean, I don't know if I actually came up with it, but I'm going to let myself think I came up with it. I'm really loving the Brandon and Mike scenes lately, so I think that we need to give them a ship name. I say it's Bike. The ship name will be Bike. So use it, learn it, live it, love it. Ship Bike. Because I love that their relationship is building.
So much.
And Mike is stepping up. He wants to be a good father, and he's really doing a good job at trying.
Absolutely. And I'm happy that the drama is gone. Like, they had such an unbelievable dramatic relationship, and it just didn't need to happen. Brandon needs a dad in his life right now. He doesn't need to deal with all the other BS. So that's good. I'm glad that he's being supportive, and I'm so happy that Mike was like, that's a really great piece. Who's that, Chopin? And he's like, actually, it's a contemporary piece, and I composed it. Awesome.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah. I'm telling you, Von Trapp family, here it comes. Led by the Judicorn. Oh, here we are. With his war paint.
I loved that he called it that. Was that not perfect?
It was amazing.
It was as if war paint. He did it like, when people put it on their whatever, it was like, I'm going in.
Sitting in the hospital bed with
Jude.
Connor.
I think the one thing I took away from Jude this episode was that I wish I had his confidence and fearlessness.
Oh, God, I know.
That's amazing.
Talk about a friggin' cool kid. Like, I I love him as a character and who he is and standing up for himself and knowing that he is right. Regardless of what Connor's dad said, he is right in this situation. And, you know, I felt for Lena when she sort of tried to, you know, console him and say, you know, losing a friend. And Jude really didn't care.
Yeah.
He knew that he had a right to see Connor.
Well, that's the that's why I'm so impressed by his character, because he's so understanding, he's so mature, and above all respectful in the sense that he knew what was going on.
Yeah.
He just kept it a secret because he knows how it affects others.
Yeah.
He's seen it before,
And I think he wanted to process it himself.
Right, but how mature to process it that way? Just to give yourself time, just to kind of let things happen the way that they have been, and then, you know, just figuring it out on your own, just kind of diagnosing the situation.
Yeah.
And speaking of processing, you know, I think finally we got the processing from Connor's dad.
Yes, that was also pretty sad. Finally, they said that, because we know that was the issue with him.
I think that's an amazing line too that they had him say, which is like, I don't care if like anyone has a gay son, I care if it's my son.
Yes.
Which is like a very, I think, common thing.
Yes,
It's very real.
Oh my god, this show doing real things? No. No, yeah,
So
you're
real.
right. And it makes him so much more like two-dimensional, three-dimensional than just like the
This
the
dad.
bigot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for him to open the door and then close it behind Jude.
Yes.
I was like, oh my God.
That was so great. And oh my God, I was obsessed with Connor's face when he just saw him. And more than that, yes, because, you know, can I just say that, you know, kudos to Gavin for that, because the way he did it was very... I don't want to use normal, but I'm saying like because we're so used to just seeing men and women relationships on the show. Like, it was so
It was the way you
endearing.
touch your
It was the way
significant other, yeah.
Exactly. It was
tender.
It was so tender. It was the way you and then he just grabbed it and looked at it, and then he was just like war paint, and it was just understood. It was accepted. I love that, and I wonder what kind of conversations that they had, that Jude was saying to Lena, you know, like, it's not bad, and he just cried because he told his dad. So they were fine having their secret, but
I just think that it's good. It's good for them to sort of air all of the laundry, because, you know, Jude finally admitted that there was nobody in the tent. It was just him and Connor, and we knew that as viewers, but it's nice for him to tell his, you know, parental figure about it. And I just loved the nonverbal communication that they had when they were finally together.
Yes.
Everything is okay for now. And I think that normal people experience that all the time, you know, regardless of what's happening in the world, and everything can be chaotic, but if you're with that special person, everything's okay for that moment.
it really is.
And it was.
And to hear Jude say, Connor's my boyfriend. OMG.
The Twitter sphere goes wild.
Seriously,
Yeah.
no, that was so great. And now they're just the boys seem happy now. What a relief, you know? Nothing else matters.
I mean, it's a long time coming, so it's like nice for them to like get it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love that in the previews today that we saw that first scene when Connor painted his nails for Jude, how little they both were.
Oh my god. I don't know if we mentioned it when Hayden was here like 3 weeks ago, but he's a giant now. He's like 5'8".
He's taller than me. He's all of us, yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. It's like one of the exciting parts about having young actors on TV shows, like
Yes, you
seeing
do.
them grow up. Yeah, I really liked too Lena's line of convincing Connor's father that not that like you need to let my son Jude see Connor. It's like you can do what you want, but it's going to be somebody else's son.
Like, are you going to stop all the other boys?
Yeah.
Because she was just trying to say, like, I get that you right now, but you need to just accept the fact that your son did come out to you, and you need to love
And
him
deal
and
with it
embrace him.
now.
Exactly.
A fan actually tweeted something really funny about the Taylor's character. Like, Taylor in the other room, like, doing a victory cheer, like, my plan has finally worked.
Right?
Or, like,
Oh, I
something
know.
cute. Like, I was like, oh my
She
god.
was like, I knew it before they both knew it.
Yeah.
Thank goodness this is finally out.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know if they're alluding to it with Jude or not, but every time that he has something big to process and deal with, he kind of goes silent. And each time I think that he's like leading up to his like big silence again. Remember when he didn't talk for an
yeah.
episode? I think like that's a few episodes. Yeah. I think that he just couldn't learn his lines and they were like, fine. No, I'm kidding. I just always think that they're like leading up to that where he is like, he can't deal with it and he just goes silent again. and I'm like, oh, I don't know. But I like seeing like, I don't know if it's intentional, but I like seeing like flashes of that.
Well, you know what? Now that their relationship is sort of out to everyone, we're now going to be dealing with the school's reaction to it if they decide to reveal to the rest of Anchor Beach that they are in a relationship. And obviously, you know, how high school kids deal with things like that, because unfortunately it's not as widely accepted as it should be.
Right.
And I am curious to see how they're going to handle that on the show, because I know that that's another huge topic that Lena and Steph have talked about dealing with themselves, but to see a younger character go through that, I think that that's something that we can not look forward to, but that we can see in their storyline in the next episode. And then normal relationship stuff, you know, fights and things that everyone goes through because they're a couple now, and I love it. I'm excited to see their journey.
Exactly. We're definitely going to just see them just hanging out all the time, doing things together.
Yeah.
Connor's going to be over for dinner, and it's going to be really nice.
A lot of what's been going on.
Right.
And yet now they're boyfriends. And that, I think, is like the really brilliant part of how this relationship progressed. It was friends, it's experimenting, it's just like progressing of the friendship to a relationship. And they got a kiss, which like made TV history. And all this before they gave the label boyfriend and I'm gay, which I think makes it more acceptable for people like Connor's father watching the show. They can like learn to love these characters and then see it happen, and then their minds are changed. First, it's like coming out and being like, these are gay characters, and you say, fine, I don't want to see them.
Right, okay.
They're just people.
Like we were made to like them before you could even dare to say you didn't.
Exactly,
Of course.
Yeah.
So that's like a benefit from younger characters.
Oh, it is. And for being on a dope show like The Fosters.
Yay, Johnner.
Yes. Yes, Donner, yes. Okay, guys. This show was a really slow burn of like beautiful, nice moments in the beginning. And then we got a lot more details, like the car crash, and then, of course, ongoing Anna's baby drama. Okay, we have some questions. Where are y'all at the point? What do you think is going to happen to the child?
Oh, God. I agree with Jesus when he says that everyone is keeping the baby because of you, Mariana. I hope they don't keep the baby because Lena can't handle that right now. She just can't. Like, get out of here, you know, with the way, like, with all her feelings. I mean, I understand her. I'm not trying to say that it's like she's being ridiculous, but it's just doing too much. And I 100% understand the grandparents, like, seeing their two grandchildren and knowing, like, that's guilt. Like, it doesn't, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many years, it doesn't matter how well they're raised, it's your blood. And if you come from a family like that where they're so close to all of their grandchildren, of course that's going to hurt, and of course that they wouldn't want that.
Do you think that the grandmother was alluding to that family being like raised by two moms, or is it just like that family being any other family but our daughter?
Actually, I know. I remember when you said that.
It was like a red flag, like a very small one, though.
Right, because she emphasized that
family.
I don't know. It could be. The only reason why I would think it would be is because typically, I guess that's what an older Latino woman would think. Or I would say probably just a family that isn't theirs.
Okay.
Well, Anna was just in a car crash, so we really don't know what happens. I hope that she doesn't lose the baby. I hope that she doesn't lose her own life, because sometimes, you know, she was in labor, or she felt like she was in labor, so if she wasn't actually in labor, she was in distress in some way.
I never thought if she might lose the baby.
Yeah, so, I mean, especially, like, when you're that pregnant, and we don't know how far along she is exactly. I think that they had said that she was going to live in the house for 6 weeks. So maybe there's, you know, a month until she gives birth, or a month and a half. I mean, I don't know what they could do. I don't know how you could just come out of that and be okay. And even though the impact was on Jesus' side, and another thing, it doesn't even look like Mariana was wearing a seatbelt.
That's the first thing I noticed, because she was turned. She was looking at Anna.
Yeah, and at first I thought, oh, maybe it's like a camera thing, how they just had her sit in the center, and, you know, a lot of those old cars, they have the center bands that just wrap around your waist, and maybe, you know, she did what I did when I was younger, like loosen it all the way so I could like sit up and talk to my mom. Exactly. And be annoying.
Always talking.
Yeah, always talking. Like, so I mean, I don't know. Again, like, thank God. I was nervous that she was gonna like go flying further than she did. The way that they showed it to us, it just seems like Anna got the least of it, but we have no idea.
Right, because the impact came from the twin side.
I think,
passenger side.
Yeah, I think that observation about Mariana and the seatbelt is a very good one.
Yeah.
I also think that we're all in agreement in saying that this show would never kill off Mariana.
Right. But like, imagine if she got hurt so bad that she could never dance again.
Right.
Oh my God, she would be just like the brain in the wheelchair.
But I don't know. Like, is that something they're going to bring in? We have no idea. But when you're in an accident like that, and they even said in this episode, like, oh, my son's old beat up Volvo. My car's in the shop. So it's not the best car.
That was Lena though that said that.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, but it could be.
I mean,
they could have
I was
passed
just
cars
thinking,
around.
you know, I was just thinking that.
Oh, and then Brandon didn't have it. He had the bus. Oh, well, they had it there. Oh,
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, so Lena drove the Volvo there, and then she drove with Steph to the courthouse while Anna took Jesus and Mariana.
Yeah.
I mean, car accidents and airbags are not good for pregnant women.
I didn't even see airbags go off. Did you? I just saw glass everywhere.
And I'm just thinking like after the fact. I have no idea.
It's scary.
It's so. That's gonna be so sad if Jesus dies.
And
I know that it is, but I know that's gonna happen. But I'm just saying, and I'm more so not because he's Jake T. Austin, but because of the actual storyline. Like
it could be that I know that nothing like replaces when you lose a child, but it could be that like this pregnant lady with like your child's like half his DNA could be a good replacement to like help curve that.
Oh, right.
You know,
because what if Lena gets she'll be so even more hurt.
Yeah, and she like wants this baby.
Exactly.
Also, they haven't signed any papers yet, so I feel like that's going to be another thing. Like maybe the grandparents will fight to keep the baby. I have no idea. But then, besides what happened to Anna, and that storyline is completely up in the air, can we talk about the kiss between Monty and Lena? Because that's a whole other thing that we have. That's another level of Steph and Lena's relationship.
What do you got, Steph?
Okay, they tweeted something from Bradley. All of us at the Fosters wish Jake the very best, but we are still a family. And as I said, not everything is what it seems on the Fosters.
Yeah, see, I don't know if they would do...
I think it's up in the air.
I think it's what we said.
I think it's up in the air, and I also think that whatever it is, they don't want to tell us right now.
Yes.
Because we got to tune in.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sorry, but yes, the kiss.
Yeah, the kiss.
So Monty kisses Lena.
Mm-hmm. In the most awkward kiss of all time.
Monty's like on the couch, the way I sit. I am Monty. We are all Monty. Lena doesn't... The reaction was like not there.
I think she was shocked. I mean, like, that's her girlfriend. Like, they like gab and talk, and
they've built a really amazing relationship so far. That's friends.
But it was Monty coming on to Lena. It wasn't Lena coming on to Monty. Yeah. And I think it's always been that way. Yes. We've gotten a weird vibe from Monty as soon
from the beginning.
Oh, yeah. Homegirl's first scene.
Yes.
Like, yes. I think Sherri Saum is beautiful, but I would never look at her the way that Monty looks at her.
I look at her like that.
Her.
Yeah. Well, no, but that's I know that totally happened. And whatever, I liked Lena's reaction when she gave her the kiss because she backed up and she's like, "Damn it."
So this is now. I wonder if season 3 will start dealing with like monogamy and like. That being said, though, like a kiss isn't going to break up a marriage. No, it's like it's like the reasons behind it.
Right, it's the reasons behind it, but it's just so funny for it to happen to the one in the relationship who wanted the marriage. It was important to her. She's always wanted to get married. Remember when Lena's ex-girlfriend came to visit? Yeah. And then she dropped that bomb on Steph and Steph didn't know about it? Yeah. So it's that's what's so frustrating, that it's like, it's so important to you, yet you're the one that couldn't stay faithful.
Yeah, Lena's ex-girlfriend, which someone on Twitter pointed out, looks a lot like Monty.
Yeah. She does.
Girl's kind of type. No, yeah, I don't know. And also Steph has a temper.
Yeah, I don't see Steph taking this lightly, especially because they've been having so many issues, and they're not like huge explosive issues, but these are some things that, you know, they definitely need to be able to talk through. And I wonder, is this something that they're going to bring into season 3? Will they go to marriage therapy, which a lot of couples do nowadays?
It could be also that this is like something hovering like in the distance that we as viewers know and is making us nervous, but it doesn't get addressed until like 3B, you know, when she finds out. And then it's like, why did you wait to tell me if it was nothing?
I feel like that's what's going to happen because I know Lena, it'll either that or Lena will tell it right away. It's going to be one or the other.
Yeah, but these women are the core of the show. You know, it will cause a fight. They'll argue about it. Steph's reasonable. She loves Lena. Like, it's not going to ruin this relationship.
In a relationship.
But I like the fact that you guys pointed out that Steph has a temper, though, so that's going to be very dramatic. And Lena's going to be super hurt by it, and Steph will dismiss her. And she'll be mean. I know that Steph can be mean.
I think that they'll wait a little bit to reveal the kiss, only because if somebody does pass away, whether that's Jake T. Austin or it's another character, so be it. But they're going to wait because they're going to have to deal with that.
Yeah.
Monty needs to go. Bye-bye. Yeah. And one other person said that they absolutely think of Titanic every time they see it.
Oh, God bless. Thank you.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting, too, to see if this is like potentially an impetus to get Lena like a different job, just on how they deal with that when it becomes an issue eventually. Because is it that big an issue? No, but it's a TV drama. Yeah. It's got to be an issue.
Exactly. And it's a TV. And it'll be good, but like you said, we're just not ready for it yet. No. Give us a second, and then we can focus on that drama.
And I think we should, too, say that, this was the episode where everyone made a very strong declaration about their intentions, and then someone talked to them in a really nice way and, planted seeds of doubt. And so, seeing Anna talk about Mariana dancing as a child and sharing these memories that Steph and Lena don't have, that was just, fascinating to see.
That was super fascinating to see because, Lena, at the end of the day, they get so frustrated and caught up in their own lives, and then they forgot that their whole core and their love are those kids. That's what was introduced to us from the beginning, and it was so funny to see both of them just get jealous, mad,
and then to see also Anna's maternal instincts flare up. You could see her loving that.
I loved it. From when she walked up the stairs, when she said you could do anything that you want to, when she told Jesus, I wouldn't, it was very motherly, for her to say, no, but, the school's great, but you're 15 and you need to, it'd be better for you to be with your family.
And I don't want to sound pejorative, but being a mother is hard enough when you're a single mom, and yet Anna is a recovering addict, which is fine, but also she doesn't have a job currently. She doesn't have a place to stay. Everything is really stacked against her to, at the moment, not be the best mother to this baby when she has the option to give it to moms in a house and brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
It's possible, but it's going to take a lot of work. And that, old apartment she was in wasn't going to cut it.
Right. Yeah. Is it weird that I totally can see Anna and Mike being together?
Still?
Yeah. I think that Anna would be good for him.
I don't want to just make it that they're both recovering addicts, so they should be together.
No, not even for that. That's the last reason why. The way that they were acting, because Anna's a different person now. She's not the addict that she was.
I just think that Anna would be a great mother 1 year from right now. When she's got everything lined up, she's had a little more sober days under her belt. That's less of an issue. A lot of times with these addictions, it's also to sometimes painkillers we don't know, and go through pregnancy without any help or the birth.
Oh yeah, right.
I don't know.
She's gonna get stuck on that epidural.
It's gonna be a completely different experience for her because she was on drugs the last time around. So I don't know if I really wanted to mess things up for this show, I would probably let Anna go. The baby lives. And then there's a fight between where the baby goes. Does it go to the grandparents? Does it go to the fosters?
Oh.
And that's another layer.
Because Anna wouldn't be there to make the decision.
Exactly. Well, Anna made the decision, but is it in writing?
Legal paperwork.
We have no idea. So
ooh, and the grandparents would be like, "That sorry, that's us."
And then it's that's where Steph and Lena's attention sort of goes to, because they're feeling for Mariana and they feel like Mariana should be with her sister.
Yes, that is totally a possibility.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just me trying to think things out logically. As far as where Jake is, I have no idea. I can't even think about that. Now this Bradley tweet is throwing me the hell off, and I'm like, what?
I think Jake messed up in tweeting that. Bradley should not have had to have tweeted that. It's only to address what Jake tweeted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But things aren't always as they seem. So what are they? What are they?
Right. All right, guys. We talked a lot of our predictions throughout, but let's jump to the official predictions.
Yes.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
Does anybody have anything official? We've named a lot. I think regarding the baby, I think that maybe the car crash was a the ploy to make it seem like maybe Jake is off the show and it's like a boarding school. Maybe that goes through.
Yeah.
But
Right.
Anna dies. The baby's able to survive because it's so old inside of her. So old. It is ancient. It's, past like whatever the time is. It's a preemie. It's fine. The baby survives. And like that becomes like a debate. But maybe Anna doesn't make it.
Yeah, that's...
Maybe Jake's off the show, but has nothing to do with the car crash.
Right, exactly. Which, for some reason, that would just make me feel better.
It would make me feel better,
I think
too.
I just don't want to see him go that way.
Yeah.
I think,
If it already happened, that sucks, but...
Also, like, if someone leaves a show as like a recurring role, series regular, they can always come back as guest starring roles. And I think this show is too smart to kill somebody off unless it's like they're done with that story.
Right. Because, like, even in Grey's Anatomy, like, when they killed George O'Malley, that was heartbreaking for everyone. But when Katherine Heigl left, she just left. And it was an easy transition. Because I think what's so funny is that we know that these characters are fake, but in the back of her head, like, well, at least she's okay now.
Yeah. I mean...
I would just like to know that Jesus is at least learning in a better place in school, not in heaven.
I agree.
He's going to Ivy Leagues.
I agree. I don't think that... I hope that what I said about Anna might actually happen. Obviously it's sad for Mariana to lose her mom. It's sad for Jesus to lose their mom if this does happen. But I feel like it would create a lot of drama, which they need to sort of rebuild. And then I think that Brandon gets into Idlewild and he and Lou will break up.
Yeah.
That's just my feeling. But there's only a few more weeks left in the school year, so I wonder when they pick the show up when it comes back in June, is this going to be after the summer and onto a new school year? I have no idea.
Because we could see it would be great to see them over the summer and what they do.
Because I would love to just see them not in school. And
know
Lena
what?
needs that break from Monty.
You know what? I was wondering the whole time. We know that the Girls United will be back next season. I was wondering how that will play out because as of now, their story's like wrapped up fairly nicely. Not tightly, but nicely. But seeing Callie over the summer working her diner with Daphne could be a great way to have that happen.
Yes, and I think that Callie... This is good that Foster Adams are going to adopt her because I think that this is going to allow her become very close to Robert. I think that their relationship's going to develop.
Yeah.
More so than anyone thought.
Yeah. Also, I like the idea of the summer happening over the episodes because for every show like this that deals with children and schooling, there's a prescribed amount of time. Eventually, people have to graduate and go to college, and that will kind of elongate the series a little bit more.
Absolutely right, because they could potentially do all of season 3A in the summer.
Yeah.
They could if they wanted to, although I don't know if they're going to do that.
Right. I mean,
have no idea.
I don't know. I think that they might have had their first table read or they're having it soon, so I'm sure we'll hear, but there are things that we do know. We do know that Rosie's going to be back. We do know that Daphne is going to be back.
That Ashley's going to be back.
That Sharinda's going to be back. That Connor's going to be back. That Hayden's going to be back. Sorry. That Gavin's going to be back.
No, you're right.
So we know that these characters are returning. We don't know how many episodes exactly, but it's going to be really exciting, and I think I'm just going to miss it. I don't know what's going to fill this void.
I know.
In my heart.
Seriously,
You guys.
I know.
All right. Well, before we go, we've had so many amazing guests on our couch this season. So I want to say thank you to Jillian. Jillian's the one that reached out to all of them and booked them.
Thank you.
Of course. We really appreciate that. Tell us where they can find you on social media before we go.
Okay. Also, thank you to Hannah because she joined us this season. She was great with us. And you can find me on Twitter at Stephanie Giorgi and on Instagram at SteffiG47. I'll miss you guys so much. Feel free to continue to talk to me about the show throughout this entire break.
Absolutely. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Jillian Leff, on my Facebook page, Jillian Leff Official, and you guys know that I love to tweet, so be sure to get back to me. I watch a ton of TV, so if you like something, let me know what you like. I might start watching. We can talk about it. It'll be great.
And I tweet from Jeff Masters 1. Over the break, I'll be tweeting about Olivia Pope's wardrobe and her wine consumption.
Yes.
I also do book reviews and author interviews on Book Circle Online, our sister network, so you can check that out. Until next season, we'll see you then. Bye, guys. Bye.
From From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
I'll see you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.